Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back, Laura Lee. Nice to see you. Welcome back, Betsy. You're back 1 or 2 weeks, but it's good to see you again.
And I have to say, the soup is all bubbling away. I have to cut out shortly. In a moment of very limited lucidity, I agreed to be an election judge.
Oh,
so
good.
I need to go to the polling place in a little bit, but I just wanted to say hello to everybody and see your faces.
We're so glad. Thank you for doing that for democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're not getting started. Laura Lee, how have you been?
I've been good. It's a little, I have rehearsals Tuesday night, and Monday night is usually my prep time for that, but I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can make this work.
Fair enough. We're happy to see you.
Really like doing it, so it's good to see you too.
Oh, good. All right. Well, today we're making a red pepper soup. We've altered it a little bit from the original recipe. And the original recipe was one that Marge had found. And we cooked it back in early October with a group that she runs. And I've changed it around, and I'll tell you why, with Marge's blessing, which is why I don't have on the website where it came from. What that soup did was cook a red pepper puree soup and then make a spicy corn salsa with jalapenos and what are the long onions, the scallions, whatever those are called, and jalapeno scallions and some other spices. Hi, Marcia. And then you just drizzle this corn salsa in the soup. I said when they were cooking, I just added a little bit of chipotle, the canned chipotle into my soup while it was cooking instead of making the salsa, and just added the corn at the end. And it was a perfectly delicious soup with a whole lot less to clean up and a whole lot less to think and worry about. So we're going to be making this this amended version today, this variance on the original soup. And it's really quite easy. I mean, it's a lot of cooking down because, the potatoes don't cook too quickly. And I will tell you, this is an unauthorized change, but I'm on kind of a fiber kick in my own life. So I got 2 sweet potatoes and 4 regular potatoes as my 6 potatoes. And those sweet potatoes are going to take a lot longer to cook. I think they're much harder and they take longer. So we'll just see. I'm already cooking it down. So if you guys are ready, you can just start with your oil and your onions and then add your garlic and just let it fry up a little bit. What do you have on your mind, Betsy? You're looking concerned. Wait, you're muted. Oh, you're reading something.
I had to go to this whole training on how to be a judge for provisional voters.
Yeah.
I don't remember a thing about it. So I'm trying to study.
Okay,
but I'm enjoying the cooking. I'm wondering, is anyone watching The Bear, this on Hulu, about this restaurant in Chicago? Denise, you are. It's made me want to both clean the kitchen and learn knife technique. It's kind of crazy show. What do you think, Denise?
It's fun. It kind of raises your blood pressure, like, oh, a cooking show, but you have to be prepared for such stress because it's about working in a restaurant. And I guess I've never worked in a restaurant, so I didn't realize, but it's a very good show. Yeah.
Someone said anyone who works in a restaurant can't watch it because it's so stressful, because it's so accurate.
That probably brings back PTSD, right?
I was a long time ago. It's not quite working in a kitchen, but I was a waitress. So, they want you out of the kitchen as much as possible. But I loved being a waitress. And thank God it was like 40 years ago. So I don't think life was as stressful in kitchens back then as they apparently are now. Is that right?
Well, yeah, the way they depict it on the show, I mean, it's just a sandwich shop in Chicago, but yeah, lots of stress.
Oh, mine was in Chicago too. It's fun.
Aww.
Yeah.
What kind of a restaurant was it?
It was stressful. You can imagine what like a fine restaurant would be, right? Where everything's
exactly.
Perfect. Wow, that's sad.
Well, I think part of it was too that the main character was in a restaurant like that. He was in a finer restaurant, and then he comes back to this sandwich shop because it was his brother's restaurant, and his brother passes away, so he goes to take care of it. So maybe part of it is because of what he brings to it, from the finer dining background.
Yeah.
So apparently he cooked at a place like Lutece or one of these French Laundry. Yeah. And then he goes into this sandwich shop.
And imposes that nonsense on them.
Exactly.
Julia, what were you gonna say?
Question about the red peppers. Is it 24 ounces total?
Total, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I bought too many red peppers.
So you know what? I don't know if you ever can have way too many. Like, how many did you buy?
Oh, like 6 jars?
Oh, that's too many. You're right. All right. Did anybody try roasting their own? I got up early and roasted my own red peppers. Not a
No.
one of you, huh? Yeah, no, that's
You
good.
put us to shame, Deb.
No, I did it, but I did buy some jars yesterday, but then I saw red peppers on a little bit of a sale. And you know what? When you roast your own red peppers, the oil is so good. And I don't know, I did it and it is easy. So if you've never tried it, while you guys are doing what you're doing, I'll just talk you through this because it really is. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's easy and they come out so kind of almost creamy and how rich that oil is that comes out of the peppers. All you have to do is take whole red peppers, put them on a baking sheet and broil them. And it's going to broil for about 20, 25 minutes and you flip it. So you have like pretty much 4 sides to a pepper. And I had 4 of them lined up on the sheet. And every like 5 minutes or so, I'd look in there. And if it was blackened, I'd flip all 4 of them and then close it up again. 5 minutes later, blackened, flip it again. And then you put them in like a paper bag or a glass bowl with a top on it. You want it to steam. After it's all blackened, you want it to steam and all the air comes out of them. And all that's left are these like blackened, shriveled up things with like this yummy oil inside. And you take them one at a time and peel off the paper, which peels off the black char, which peels off very easily at that point. And then you take the stems out of the inside and most of the seeds come out. And then you can take a few more seeds, whatever's easy to get. But like you saw in your jars, there's often seeds that come out of those jars. So it's not crucial to get all the seeds. And then you use the oil and these beautiful slices of this really yummy red pepper. So either way works.
So Deb, did you put oil on the outside or
I
what?
didn't do a thing, Marcia. I've seen recipes that call for both. I did not put any oil or any salt. So the only thing I'll say as my caution is I used a half a can of this Chipotle last time and a half a can of this. Let me show you what the can is in case you guys didn't see. There's a couple of different folks who make this Chipotle peppers in adobo. But if you haven't used it yet, it's pretty spicy. So if you want to make it spicy, go ahead and use a half a can. If you want to tone it down and add a little bit more later, a little bit of this stuff goes a long way.
I did have a question about that. Did you
Yeah.
just pull the chilies out and chop them up and do, because there's kind of a
didn't-
sauce around them?
Yes, you can use the sauce, you can use the chilies. It doesn't matter. Remember,
Okay.
we're going to blend this soup.
Right.
So you can throw 2 peppers in and let
Okay.
it cook down. And then if it's the right spice for you, that's great. And you can add more
Okay.
later if it's not.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I'm going to sign off now, but I look forward to tasting the soup when it's done. And Deb, it sounds wonderful using the corn instead of making this whole salsa, which probably doesn't translate once you freeze it and then.
Yeah, it just seemed like too much work. So we'll see. I hope you like it. And thank
Okay.
you again for working tonight and tomorrow.
Well, thank you all. Great to see you all. Ciao.
I see you too. So Marcia, I don't know if you were on when I admitted that I'm playing around with this recipe today by adding 2 sweet potatoes. Is that going to just totally mess the flavor up? And will it add enough fiber that it's worth it to me to play around with a recipe like this? Or is that not really a fiber rich enough food to matter? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Sorry.
It will enhance the nutrient value, but it does change the flavor because I tend to do that as well. And it's a little different.
Yeah,
I can, if I were more experienced, I'd be able to tell you how it's different,
that's
but
all right. Well, it's good. I'm glad I'm making a spicy one, and I'll write spicy on my thing. So that'll kind of hide a little bit of the difference, and I'll see what we can do to like spice the rest of it. But I don't know. I just am feeling like I got to up the fiber content. And as long as I'm going to, so are the recipients of my soup.
there you go.
All right. Thank you.
You're talking about a 1/2 inch dice or 3/4 inch dice, do you think, for the potatoes?
So it doesn't really matter. It will
It's gonna
affect how
be-
long you simmer it. You're just going to stick some forks in it. Try to make them a little bit kind of close to each other. You can make them bigger or smaller, but then you want them to cook kind of so that when one's ready, you don't have to stick a fork in every single one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Who's going to be able to cook with us on Sunday? Excellent. Oh, I'm glad. It should be fun. The soup we know is good. Some of you made it with us before. It's a great, great soup. And it should be fun to have Katie Ledecky telling us about how does she have time to be kind when she's busy breaking 1 million world records.
I'll be away, but if I can, I might log on just to be there with you, but
That would be fun. Where are you off to, Marcia?
there's the International Lifestyle Medicine
Oh, right.
in Orlando.
That's right.
I'm leaving Saturday.
Oh, I'm excited for you for that. That'll be great.
Next step.
Kelly Williams is in the house. You're muted. Kelly,
I
you've
know.
never cooked soup with us before, have you?
No, I've never have.
I'm so excited to see you. Are you
Thank
cooking
you.
or just like logging in and saying hi?
Okay.
No, are you cooking today now?
Oh,
Or are
yeah.
you- Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay. Did you already get your onions all started?
No, I'm a little late to the game, but I
You're
will
late.
finish up later than you all, so that's fine.
That's fine. All right. That's great. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
Well, for all of you who haven't met Kelly before, she teaches. Which school are you at, Kelly?
So I'm an occupational therapist at the Catherine Thomas School in Rockville. So teeny tiny little school, and with high schoolers all day. So pardon me for being a little bit late. I needed more decompression than normal.
This
I
is a
love my
good,
kids.
also, you'll find that like signing up with us and spending an hour is a good decompression kind of.
It is. It will be good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're glad to have you. Sam, are you cooking?
Hi there. I
Hi
cooked
there.
earlier today.
You cooked earlier? How'd you like
Yes.
it? Did you learn anything?
I
that
actually cooked last week's broccoli and cheddar, and
Ah,
I
okay,
catch
good.
up on this recipe.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Deb, this is Terry. I'm gonna sign off because I've just finished my soup and I really just want to eat the soup. So
Oh, wait, will you taste it in front of us and tell us if you learned anything?
I have tasted, I had to add a lot of salt to mine.
Okay.
And normally I don't like
Yeah.
the salt things, but I needed a lot of salt in this one.
Oh,
I
good to
think
know.
because I added more red peppers than the recipe called for. I read it as 3 24-ounce jars.
Okay, and how does it taste?
It's delicious, but
Oh,
it didn't.
good. Yeah.
It didn't. It's very rich tasting.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, good.
So, and I doubled the recipe. I used a whole little teeny can of the chilies and adobo, and it's very spicy.
Yeah.
My son's gonna love it, but my husband's probably not gonna eat it. So that's
Oh,
okay. He's also an election judge, so he's out working. He'll have
oh,
some.
good. Okay,
Yeah.
and you know what? Make sure, Terry, when you send yours wherever you're gonna share it, make sure that you say that it's spicy. And that way the people who get it will like say, I like spicy, you know.
Yep, I will do that. I will do that. Hey, if people are looking for other places to share their soups, think about your election judges. I mean, my husband is one of the chief election judges at his precinct, and it's been a grueling going through early voting, and they're scheduled tomorrow. And even when they've worked early voting and went on election day, they have to be there at 6 a.m. and they don't leave until sometimes 11 p.m. depending on when the last voters get out there. So even if you don't bring them soup, be kind to them, please. And because there are also a lot of Republican, like not mainstream, but like, the fringe Cox supporter Republicans who are being disruptive at the polls, even in Maryland.
Well, what a great
Even in
idea.
Montgomery County. And so
Yeah.
they're creating some uncomfortable situations for those folks. So please be kind to them and vote.
Well, we will, and please thank your husband for us, and thank you for the lovely idea of sharing our soups in that way. It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Have a good night. I'm gonna mute my sound because I'm gonna start blending a little bit. Unless somebody, Julia, did you want something? No, okay. I'm gonna mute my sound.
Can anyone tell me, do we peel the potatoes? Okay, thanks, Deb. Can someone remind me? I know there's the different starch levels in the different, like there's russet and gold and red, and they have different starch levels. Is that right?
Marsha, are you prepared to answer that one?
Here at the beginning, what is it?
Laura Lee was asking about the different starch levels of the different kinds of potatoes.
So, I don't know the answer to that, but, I think the difference is that there are more nutrients in the sweet potatoes. So,
She was
um,
even wondering about like russet versus Idaho versus what, different that. Nope. You're
That's-
past us, Laura Lee.
But the white potatoes are broken down more readily, and so, the glycemic index is higher. So that's one of the benefits of sweet potatoes, is that you don't get that sugar burst because it's more complex. The carbs are more complex.
Yeah, and also, but with white potatoes, there's gold, there's red, and there's russet. And I think some of them you use russet for baking, and you use red for potato salad, and there's different starch levels or something like that.
All right, well, now that you're back, you can become our potato expert because we need.
Oh yeah, I'll look it up.
Okay, good. Okay, sounds good.
Can I ask another question, Deb, about the corn this time?
Yeah.
Like how small of a bag of corn did you use? This one I have is, let's see. I have a, let's see, 16-ounce bag. Is that
Perfect.
small?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And
And
what
did
I
you
would
rinse
do,
it? Okay,
no, don't rinse it.
okay, throw it in.
Yeah, throw it in, but I would throw in half, stir it around and see what you like. I don't know if you want a lot or you want a little, take a little bit and put it in a little cup and have like 1 or 2 bites of corn in it and try it with a little more. I like just a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'll probably be between 8 and 16 ounces. I don't know.
Was that what you were holding up? Was that roasted corn from Trader Joe's?
Yes.
Yeah, because I have that also, and I was thinking of putting that in there instead.
Do it.
Did you do that?
I did it last time and I'm going to do it this time because it is, I'm going for that smoky roasted flavor. So why
Right.
not use the roasted corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I could do a combo.
Okay.
How wild and crazy would that be?
Totally fun. Why not?
Is Marge actually traveling or is she just not available today?
She is traveling. She
Okay.
had, I think, she's
So
not.
no dropping off soup tomorrow.
She's not taking soup
Okay.
this week because she's on the road. But we did add a few more locations that make it a whole lot easier. Some with
Okay.
like 5 days a week drop off. So take a
Okay.
look and see. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Sure. The other fun thing is these locations serve different kinds of populations.
Yeah.
So depending upon, when you're available, you might say, oh, good, I'd really like to help those students, or I'd really like to help those busted migrants that are stuck in a hotel, or, there's now a lot of variation in when you can drop off and who's going to receive the food.
So I can read you what I just found on the net about starch content. So it says russet, Idaho, and Yukon gold are starchy and great for baking, mashing, and deep frying. Their high starch content produces an even color when frying, and their starch granules swell as they boil for the fluffiest mashed potatoes every time.
Oh.
And it said that the question about, there is a question here about which potatoes are lowest in starch. Waxy potatoes have less starch than starchy potatoes and contain more moisture and sugar. They're often smaller with a waxy outer skin and a creamy, firm, and moist flesh. So it doesn't talk about sweet potatoes, but small waxy potatoes are less starchy. I mean, potatoes are starch pretty much. So, and then there's a resistant starch analysis.
I don't even know what resistant starch is, but I know I'm not it.
No,
Deb, it sounds like potatoes where the starch is designed to help those maybe with insulin resistance. So the sugar levels don't spike quite as quickly.
Yeah. Well, Marcia's going to tell you to stick with sweet potatoes. Maybe we'll make a sweet potato soup in the not too distant future. Sounds like that would be a good one, right?
I found a good recipe.
Oh, boy. Will you do it?
I'll send it to you. You tell me if you like the idea. of
That would be great. Thank you.
it. Okay.
Kelly, how's your cooking going? Kelly, do you cook on your own all the time? Is this like old hat for you, or are you kind of fumbling around and want more help?
I cook a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna ask you for help instead of you needing our help, okay? What are your favorite things to cook?
Let's see. I like lentils. I'm trying to get more experimental with beans and a lot of fish.
You have come, not the fish, but you've come to the right place on lentils and beans.
Oh, great.
Yeah, a lot of soups. And Kelly, you can look back on our KindSoups kind of project page, not the one for each day, but the one that just talks about KindSoup. And you'll see all the different recipes are linked for all the soups we've made in the last 2 years. There's a lot of beans and lentil soups.
Good. I am desperate for more lentils and more beans and recipes and lots of veggies. You know, the old hat is, it gets old after a while.
I know, you came to the right place. Does anybody have, when you have time, maybe put in the chat or just tell Kelly which soups stand out in your mind as some of our best ones with beans and lentils? Oh, Laura Lee's back. Nope. If you have a favorite or a couple of favorites that are really bean heavy or lentil heavy, let Kelly know, because she's new to joining us today.
Yes.
Deb, I have another part of the answer here. So the question that was asked is, are sweet potatoes lower carb than regular potatoes? And it says both potatoes are a healthy carbohydrate source, and the same amount of white potatoes and sweet potatoes contain the same amount of carbs. Sweet potatoes, however, have more fiber and are slightly lower on the glycemic index than white potatoes. So there you go. So higher in fiber, same carbs, you know, fiber is basically long carbs. So anyway, the answer is use sweet potatoes when you can, but
You can't.
more nutritious, nutrient dense.
Good. Okay, thanks.
But being a potato person, I eat potatoes in all forms whenever I can.
I roasted red peppers once to make, I think it's called romesco sauce or Romanesco sauce. Oh, it's so good. So roasted red peppers and what is it? Some kind of toasted nuts and garlic,
Isn't it olives too, or no?
maybe olive oil or,
No. Yeah, okay.
it was, it's a good one. Sort of like a red pesto. That women's shelter is not yet accepting things again, is it? The Cofield or Kfield?
No.
No,
Well,
okay.
actually, Cofield is no longer their outpost. They closed the one in Silver Spring and they were given a location in Durwood. So don't go over to Cofield no matter what, but they aren't accepting soups. They're making do with the meals that they get. So no more soups over there. But there is a new Silver Spring location, Laura Lee. Right in downtown Silver Spring.
Oh, great.
Yeah, not for the women's shelter. It's a drop-in facility for young adults going through kind of either insecure home situation or other reasons why they need kind of some safe space and some help with food and some other issues that they're offering services for over there.
Wonderful. Terrific.
I was so curious the way Terry was talking about needing salt, because mine is smoky enough that I'm not sure I would even know if it needs salt. So I'm playing around with my salt over here. Keep adding a little more. Oh, salt is always yummy. Don't tell Marsha, but salt is always good.
Is Marcia a resident dietitian?
Yes, but having gone to medical school and had her own practice for 30 years, not
Oh.
a dietitian. That's her hobby.
Okay.
It's a hobby. You know, I meant to say before when someone was mentioning about knife skills, there's a course through Forks Over Knives that I wanted to take to really look like a pro, and it really was excellent. So if anyone's interested, I mean, there are different versions, like one is a 12-hour, I did the 50-hour, and then there's like 100-hour, and it's all online, but you they teach you the skills with videos, and you do it at your own pace. And then submit pictures of how you've chopped things and your foods that you've done. And they really take you step by step of how to really chop. And, you know, it makes such a difference when you're making vegetarian foods, especially, and you could, you know, get it all done in a few minutes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Will
yeah.
you put the name of where you, what you said, where you took it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll try to get the exact link. And now I'm taking a course through Ruby, Rouxbe, which is a more professional level. They link a lot to Forks Over Knives. But this one is more about food photography. And I just did a unit on grilling, which was great because I hadn't used my grill in years. And now I feel very comfortable with it. And now we're up to tempeh and tofu. It's all plant-based, but you know, I think it's the skills that really are very helpful. So if anyone wants to have more fun in the kitchen and look like they know what they're doing.
That's wonderful. And you know, it makes me happy to hear that you aren't anti-grill, because I love grilling so much. And I know it's a compromised way to cook in terms of your health, but boy, I love grilling.
Yeah. No, I was very proud to get the right grill marks on my food, and you know.
Good for you.
Okay, I'm gonna go try to.
Well, you said knives over forks, so that's a big help. We have it. And whoever, Kelly, you were asking about the corn. You know what? It is going to take the full bag. It's going to take the full 16 ounces for the amount of soup I just made. Yeah.
I'm gonna first put in the chat my favorite soups, because I just looked up which ones.
Good. I can't wait to hear. You're getting some good recommendations, Kelly.
Excellent. Well, I'm not able to look at my chat right now. My hands are completely full.
Do you know the trick of how to save the chat before we sign off?
No.
You're going to love this. I'll tell you when you're back on the screen, near the screen.
Okay. I'm almost there. I'm almost to the
No
point.
worries. No
And
worries.
simmering.
Deb, are you somewhere else? I
Yes.
just realized that's not your kitchen.
No.
Where are you?
I'm in New York.
Oh,
I'm in
fun.
a tiny New York kitchen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so fun. So
Are you
fun.
doing some fun stuff?
Well, I was mainly here today because I was here all day yesterday because of the New York City Marathon. Not running, but this is how you know you've made it to old age. My friend's son was one of the DJs. So
Oh.
I went down to hear him, and then found out that another friend who does KindWorks with me and had met this son as we were trying to work some sound thing. He's a sound guy. And so she said, oh, I'm going to be in New York too. I'll come meet him. And so we did brunch with her family because she had somebody running. And when her niece was running, and I got to meet all her family. And then I hung with my friends, the DJ's parents. And we just spent the whole day out there with everybody else in New York cheering on runners who you don't know.
So
And
fun.
one or two. But I mean, for all of New York to come out and just
Yeah.
be positive for other people, it was
Mhm.
fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's great too when you don't have anybody that you're worried about. Like if you don't have any any of your immediate family, or like you could just go and enjoy and cheer your friend's son on and not like feel stressed
Kelly,
about it.
Look, I got a 23-year-old and a 27-year-old and a husband and a dog. They can all do whatever they need to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. There were a lot of years where we weren't able to do what we wanted to do, you know? So now I'm finding a way to do what we want to do.
Yeah, you got to make up for lost time.
Yeah, why not?
I call it reclaiming agency.
I love it. All right. I put a little bit of salt in because Terry suggested it, and I think she's right. I used a bag of corn, And I used a half a can of the Chipotle, and I think I'm gonna just use a little bit more salt and I'm done. I think it's good. Oh, thank
What's the
you.
consistency?
Here, let me see if I can show you. Mine is gonna be much less red and more orange than Terry's was, because she used like 1,000 red peppers instead. Can you guys see this? Almost.
Has to be
Ready?
Oh, that looks delicious.
It's very orangey instead of red, red, red. And the consistency is, a pureed soupy thing. Here.
But you didn't puree it all the way. I see chunks in there.
No, the chunks are only corn. And
Oh,
remember,
just
the
corn.
corn has
Okay.
some yellow and black because it's the roasted corn.
Okay.
Yeah, everything else is pureed.
I bet you some cans of black beans in there would be really good.
Oh,
The black corn, it just,
I love that idea. Yeah.
yeah. For more fiber, right? Deb?
I was just gonna say, you're speaking my new love language here, fiber.
Takes a long time for it to come to a boil though, doesn't it? I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
So Deb, when the potatoes are soft, it's time to move on? Is that the
Yes.
idea?
Yep, as soon as they're soft enough, so you can go ahead and blend.
Okay.
All right, Kelly, you ready? And anybody else who doesn't know this trick, come on over and open up the chat. So you click your buttons that say more if your chat isn't opened on the right-hand side. And then you see all these
Okay.
great soups that everybody recommended, and you see forks over knives. It's all great. And you go down to the bottom and it's what you would be writing. It says to everyone and type a message here. All the way on the right-hand side, you see those 3 dots? At the bottom of the right-hand side of the chat box, there's 3 dots. Anybody see it? Yeah?
Yeah.
I
Kelly?
don't, but it could, is it because I'm on an iPad and on the app?
Oh, yes. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna save it.
For the
for-
iPad, it will be at the top. At the top, I'm in an iPad too, so it'll be at the top. It says mute, stop video, and then participants, and then more.
Yes.
Okay, so then if it's up there, try that. And then my first option when I click those 3 dots is save chat. And it will send you a printout. It's not beautiful looking, but it's got all the information right in there. It's kind of like digital looking a little bit.
I don't
used to-
see it.
I used to copy and paste and copy and paste. I'm not sure. Well, you know what? Since I'm done with my soup, I'll Google where is save chat on an iPad. How's that?
Thank you. I would appreciate
Yeah, I'm
that.
on an iPad too, but I don't see it either. But that doesn't mean anything.
All right, let me try.
It smells amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad. I don't know about that. All right, so what I'm gonna do, unless somebody figures it out, is save the chat and send it to Denise and Kelly. Laura Lee, you want, whoever wants me to send it to them, I'll send it to them. But there's got to be a way, but since I'm not working on an iPad, I'm not sure.
And I'll do some looking before next week.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you so much, Deb.
Sure.
Hey, Deb,
Yeah.
or anyone really, if we ever kind of wanted to make one of these soups, like a big batch, not on a KindSoup's night, are we still allowed to donate them to certain places, or do they only accept?
No, you are. In fact, there are quite a few people, Kelly, who can't really do this time.
Yeah.
So they pick up the recipe whenever it's convenient for them during the week. They make it and they deliver. It's totally fine. We'd really like you to use something that approximates the labels that we're suggesting on the website so that people aren't, they recognize it as kind of a KindSoup effort. And that alone seems to have satisfied people's curiosity about who's dropping this soup off and how can I trust it. So
Okay.
if you just do that, that would be absolutely fine. Although we like having you on, but we totally get that you can't always make it. So cook soup.
I love it, and I think it's super fun. You're right. I can't always make the time.
Yeah. No worries. Do it any way that works for you.
All right.
I took a look online at the Zoom has a community chat, and it appears that there's not a save chat feature in an iPhone or an iPad. They just there's a couple sort of workarounds where you can click on the link and either put it into like a notepad if you have it on your device, or open it up in a new window and have it there. But yeah, it's not elegant like on the PCs. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if there's anything that anybody ever misses as the person running the Zoom, I do always get a copy of the chat. So just before I delete it, let me know in the next week or two if there's ever a time when you want this chat and you forgot to get it or it wasn't convenient for you.
That's good to know.
Thank you, Denise. Kelly, it's fun for me to cook here, but I can barely fit 7 extra containers of soup on the counter here.
Yeah, I bet. I'm impressed that you're doing what you are.
Well, it took a while for me to figure out where am I going to put that laptop and how am I going to, it's crazy here, but it's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
Good.
All right, so you all know that on Sunday, we are cooking, the World Kindness Day soup. So we won't be cooking next Monday at all. That's an off day. Feel free to cook by yourselves if you want. If but I think we won't be online next Monday. The following Monday is the Monday before Thanksgiving. So what I thought I would do to get us all ready for our Thanksgiving leftovers is I posted a YouTube of a soup that's something called like leftover turkey soup. And you use the carcass and you use some of the food from Thanksgiving and you make a soup out of it. And so I just thought that was interesting enough. And I didn't know if everybody was going to want to make a whole separate soup on Monday when they're going to be either cooking or eating a lot on Thursday. So I thought we would just, anyone who wants to sign on, we can like talk about that soup or any other soup that people want to share. I don't know if we're going to cook that day or not. We can all just see how it goes. What do you, anybody have any feelings about that Monday? All right, then we're going with my plan.
I mean, I'm not permitted to take the turkey carcass home because mom makes the turkey soup that I love.
Oh, she does. So let's get your mom's recipe. Maybe it's better than this YouTube one. Does she have a recipe or she just kind of like makes it up?
You know, I don't know. It varies from year to year depending on what we have and how many leftover meals we get to.
Yeah.
But she makes homemade stock and she boils the turkey carcass for like a whole day.
Yeah.
And I mean, she homemade stock, all the veggies, all the herbs, everything. And it just boils just for hours and hours and hours on the stove.
And she does that after Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She keeps everything. It goes into the fridge. And then when all the meats kind of like the edible meats kind of been picked off, she chucks the whole thing in the stock pot.
Sounds good.
It's amazing. I'll try to get her recipe if she has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or videotape her while she's doing it, Kelly. She'll be our head chef next month, teaching us.
She will love that. So mom, I did this thing. And by the way, you're now the head chef. Oh, and you're going to be on video. Yeah, that'll get me real far. All right. I'm going to go on mute while I clean my kitchen a bit.
Have fun. How's everybody's soup doing? Getting towards the end?
Finally got to the boil, so.
Okay, it won't be long. Just keep sticking some forks in those potatoes and see what you think.
So in the end, I ended up using 3 peppers and whatever sort of sauce was stuck to them. And it's plenty spicy. Yeah.
Is it too spicy? Too spicy?
Yeah, my husband will love it, but I just know if I put the whole can, I can't imagine putting the whole can in there. I wouldn't be able to eat it.
Right, no, even I knew to tell everyone only a half a can. Yeah, yeah, good. I love so much the idea of bringing these to the election judges. It's a great idea.
Where do you want, street? Yeah. Is it on, Kelly?
Not quite.
Are they on right now?
I'm on mute.
Whoever
just-
just said they're on mute, you're not on mute.
Oh.
Denise, what do you think?
Danny and I are having a salt war, but
He wants
it's
more?
really good. Oh yeah, he always does. He always does. But I'm like, you stay away from my pot.
Did you use the Chipotle chilies?
I
in the
used
dip?
there was one kind of giant Chipotle in the can, and I used that and some sauce, and it's just right. The smokiness is just right.
Good.
Away from my pot.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
All right, we better hang up, everybody, so Denise can battle her son.
wave to the ladies on Zoom. Right over here.
Hi, Danny. Get away from the salt.
Definitely get away from me. No, it came out great. I like the smokiness. It was just right.
Good. Okay. And you put corn in?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. Everybody good? I'm going to save the chat, and I think I'm going to let everybody go unless anybody is anything. No? I hope I see you all on Sunday when we'll be cooking with Katie Ledecky. Well, not really, but we'll be talking with Katie Ledecky, and we'll be cooking a really fantastic vegetarian, not vegan soup. Because it's got, I think it's got cheese in it, but you know, you can get a Parmesan cheese, right, Marcia? A vegan made plant-based Parmesan.
Yeah, I've tried a lot of plant-based. I think the diet cheeses are awful, my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
And the only cheeses that vegan cheeses that I've found that I actually like are shredded mixed mozzarella and cheddar at Trader Joe's. It's
That's a good
soy-based.
hit. That is a good hit. My daughter's found a few. I'm going to get the names from her, but I'm writing this down. What'd you say? Soy-based mozzarella.
Shredded. Yeah, it's a bag of shredded mozzarella and cheddar. And I think that's good. And it melts like real cheese also, which most of the others don't.
I wonder how they do it. Remember the Seinfeld when they said it was 0-calorie frozen yogurt, and Elaine and Jerry were like, no way. Do you know how they make this melt, Marcia?
Chemicals, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is in the chat, the cheese that you have.
The other thing, actually, Deb, the substitute for Parmesan would be nutritional yeast. That's probably the most
that's a good idea. Yeah.
equivalent. And it doesn't,
Okay.
I don't think it tastes bad. I put it in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing whoever shows up on Sunday. And if not then maybe the following Monday or whenever it next works.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Deb. Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.